So why do we need emotional resilience or strength for mental health? Well, life is made up of a huge diversity of emotions, and we want to be willing and able to experience them all. We can grow our capacity for feeling all the emotions by embracing them, even the ones that we prefer to avoid. When we face our feelings rather than avoid them, this stretches our capacity, our emotional capacity. We become emotionally mature when we are willing to process all the emotions. This is emotional resilience. We show up as our true self when we are emotionally mature. Even feeling, every feeling actually, will allow us and grow us. These are actually life lessons that we're just waiting to be learned. And when we deny them, we actually don't learn those lessons. But we are able to learn the lessons by embracing them. These lessons will grow us stronger and wiser. According to Joe Hudson, joy is the matriarch of a family of emotions, but she won't come into your house if her children are not welcome. So what that means to me is that in order to feel more joy in our lives, we actually have to allow ourselves to feel and process all the emotions, not just picking and choosing the ones that we prefer. So what is your go-to when you want to avoid an emotion or maybe a task or a goal or even a tough conversation? Whatever you do to avoid those things, to avoid an emotion especially, that is your buffer. Have you ever heard of buffers? I have a whole episode coming about that. Even good stuff can be used as a buffer if it keeps us from the goal, the emotion, or the tough conversation. So a buffer is anything we do that stands in the way of what we really want and need to do. So when we feel stuck or off track, we need to allow ourselves to feel all the emotions. Don't become numb by buffering. Be compassionate and curious with yourself. What is the emotion you're trying to avoid? What thought could be behind it? Is it a sneaky thought? Is it one that needs to be taken captive? Can you change it by just one small degree? Altering by 1 degree can completely change the course, just like in flying or golf or other things in life. But to mature emotionally and become emotionally resilient, we have to be willing to feel all the emotions. We don't really want to stop the natural process of processing emotions because then they become stuck in our body. And we become stuck in our story and our actions. It's like we're stagnant in our growth. We don't want to get stuck in a story that doesn't serve us. For example, maybe you have a story that you tell yourself on repeat. So like if you think there's this person that doesn't like you, but your brain starts to search for all the evidence to prove that. Instead, you want to flip that script. You want to remind yourself that you are responsible for your own happiness and don't give that power away to anyone. God sees you, He cherishes you, and He helps you in your life to live as you should. We can't control other people's actions, and they don't get to choose what emotions that we have. We get to choose that. We have the agency and the choice to take our thoughts captives and have elevated and better emotions and actions. Mental health includes a commitment to reality. We have to actually recognize the need to process through emotions rather than allowing them to be stuck. Because whenever emotions are stuck, they can cause physical problems in the body. For example, someone who deals with or has and doesn't actually process anger, they often have that stored in their liver. Stress can be stored in the shoulders, the neck, and the hips. Fear is often stored in the throat and lungs. Shame is often stored in the face. You ever notice that in someone, that you can almost see that they feel shame? But those things stay there until they're processed. They don't have to stay there forever. That's the good news. But we do want to spend the time and process them and face them. We have to actually feel that pain, sit with that pain, to deal with that pain, and to heal from that pain, and to find out what its purpose is. One sign of healing in a healthy person is allowing yourself the space to identify your feelings, to be okay, to sit with those feelings. And when we do this, it allows ourselves space for grace, for ourselves and also for others. So does your story have space for grace?